Hey guys, what's up? Today I want to give you my first impressions so far on the new Battlefield 2042 beta. I'm gonna start right off with the new game mechanics. The weapon customization is now done only when spawned in and can be changed anywhere at any time. I reckon they will add customization in the menu when the full game comes out though. This lets you adapt quickly to new situations, and trust me, the range you're fighting an enemy on changes a lot. Also, and I don't know if that's a bug, but if you run out of a certain ammunition type, you can just change to another. For example, the M5A3 assault rifle can be chambered in 5.56, 9mm and 308. The amount of bullets you get changes with the caliber size. So for example, a smaller caliber means more bullets and the other way around. I've also noticed that changing ammo type is quicker than reloading, so that's probably being patched in the future. Overall, the system is still very buggy and the choices you made don't save every time. So you have to change your attachments after respawns quite often, and it gets annoying when you spawn in on a contested objective. So far, I have mixed feelings about this, since you're not bound to your decision and it makes the game feel more like an arcade. Moving on to the specialists, there are 4 of them so far. Webster McKay is the assault, and he comes equipped with a grappling hook. The hook has a cooldown and a range of about 25 meters, I guess, maybe more. It's fun to use and so far my favorite gadget. It helps you get out of sticky situations and could be used for some insane trick shots. Maria Falk, the medic of the bunch, uses a healing pistol, and I'ma call it the happy pistol because it probably straight up shoots morphine at everybody that it is having a good time. You can heal yourself or teammates on range. Also, she's the only one who can revive people which are not in your squad, and revive people have full health instantly. Boris, the engineer, is equipped with a sentry gun. The gun automatically shoots at targets at sight and does survive about 2 magazines out of an AR. At last we have Casper, the reckon of the 4. His gadget is a little drone that is controlled via touchpad. It can shoot an EMP on enemy vehicles and turn off the weapon systems. It also interferes with the enemy's line of sight, so they're almost blind for a few seconds. You can still see enough to drive or fly out of the danger zone though. The next new mechanic is the Traverse Sprint. It's entered via a double click on sprint and feels and looks similar to the tactical sprint in Modern Warfare. It's faster than the normal sprint, but your character holds his weapon up in one hand and it isn't ready to shoot right away. Both forms of sprinting can be used for as long as you need them, as there is no stamina system in the game. A big new thing is calling in vehicles or a personal robot dog on the run. The character pulls out a touchpad after pressing a button, and he can then choose out of a mechanized robot dog, an armored buggy, an anti-air tank, and a main battle tank. The amount of vehicles is capped, so you can't just spam tanks, for example. The dog, however, is available almost every time and can be used for some great plays. Especially when you're outnumbered, it comes in handy. One thing that annoys me though is the fact that you can't move while having the touchpad in your hand. Also, if nothing is available, it can only be closed by pressing escape, which is not the best key to press in a firefight. One little new thing that has brought by far the most joy to me is the option to turn on the radio in the car and even switch between radio stations. The music can also be heard from outside the vehicle, so you and your friends can pull up in the parking lot and throw a whole ass party there. Just don't forget the medic and her morphine gun. Next up, I want to talk about the new gunplay. Most weapons have little to no recoil and the game feels a lot more like Call of Duty. Sniper rifles are fun to use, but compared to Battlefield 5, really not that satisfying. Also, the absence of recoil makes the sniper obsolete on a competitive basis, as you can just spray down your AR on 100 meters and hit the enemy just fine. Overall, the gunplay is more accessible and easier to learn, which is not necessarily a good thing. The time to kill feels much faster, and by the time you realize you're being shot at, you're already dead. Which leads me to the biggest issue the game faces so far, the situational awareness and sound. In my 16 hours of playing, I can count the times I've heard someone's footsteps and reacted to that on one hand. They are just not there at all. 3 guys could be sprinting up on you from behind and you wouldn't even notice. This is probably the most annoying thing for me so far, as Battlefield 5 has crystal clear footstep sounds. You can hear people over 20 meters away. In Battlefield 2042, however, they gotta be right up your butt to notice them. Also, shooting sound is very weird and when you're being shot at. Many times I just realized somebody was shooting at me a moment before I died. That, along with the fast TTK, makes it often impossible to react to shots. All you hear for most of the time are explosions and helicopters shooting at you. Helicopters are gonna kill you a lot in this game, by the way, and they are very OP if used right. The performance as of right now still needs to be optimized. I'm playing on a 3080 and a Ryzen 9 5900X and only get about 120 to 140 FPS on low graphics settings. In conclusion, the game has a whole lot of potential, but the state as of right now is far from being a finished game. As this is just a beta, there is still hope. However, the devs have to rework the sound system and many bugs I've encountered so far. Let's just hope it's not like the Battlefield 5 release all over again. Battlefield never has been a realistic game, but with this title, DICE is going into a more mainstream Warzone-like direction, which is probably very good for sales. I feel like they only introduced specialists to us so they could sell us more of them later in the Battle Pass. The old class system makes more sense in a gameplay perspective. Overall, it's still a good game and especially with your friends a whole lot of fun. It's just not the game I hoped it would be. Let's just hope they can fix the biggest issues until next month and get the sound right. That will make the game a whole lot more enjoyable. Hazard Zone also isn't known yet, so maybe that's going to be the big surprise. Battlefield Portal will be pretty awesome nevertheless, and I'm looking forward to that. However, that was my first impression on the Battlefield 2042 beta. If you agree with me, leave a like. If you disagree, a dislike. Let me know your opinions in the comments and see you next time.